Man United podcast with Bidds and Monty. Welcome back to the Man United podcast. It has been a week of waiting to do this next one.
Yeah, it's been too long, man. I was edgy.
Yeah, man.
It was edgy.
Dead excited. Really excited for this episode. Today we had Lee Anderson in. He's a life coach, and his story, man, it got fucking deep.
Again, like very deep, emotionally. There's everything in this episode again. Like we never fail in it. Where we laugh, then we're quiet for a long time trying to like take everything in.
Yeah.
And we end up being inspired.
Such a good episode. So open, honest, and like you said, fun along the way. Just what we like to see on the Man United podcast.
All fun.
But before we get into that episode, again, my mate Beard Company, head over to them guys to get your beard products. So good. Oil, balm, you name it. It's so good.
Very good.
Makes you feel good as well, man. Makes you feel good. Wake up in the morning, get that balm in the beard, get that oil in.
I feel good. Na 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 na.
And also, Champion Mindset Clothing, Monty.
We're doing well. Thank you for everyone who's been showing support, sharing, even buying the garments. All going to a good cause, trying to raise and spread awareness as well through a powerful message, which is through pain we grow. And cheers, keep supporting, lads. My people. And it's for everyone as well, because I've had this already where people are asking me, is it just for men? No, it's unisex.
Yeah,
everyone.
baby.
Everyone.
So enjoy the episode. And again, we love you, you beautiful humans.
We love you all.
Yeah, Lee, what's happening, bro? Are you well?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yes, mate, I'm very good. I've got a lot of material today. I've got a nice rant as well.
Right, okay, I look forward.
Yeah, something's happened during the week that I need to get off my chest. Right. So we can have a chat about that later on. Monty, what's happening, mate?
I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. It's about time. It feels like we've not done one for a long time. What, 2 weeks now? It's only been 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. We had a week off, didn't we?
Yeah, but it feels long. It feels long, and I'm excited to hear about Lee, about his live adversities, and how he's come out the other side, being the man he is now, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. So the reason why it's so long is because we've done I think it's 25 weeks in a row without a break. So we've done 25 episodes. This will be episode 26.
Yeah, bang.
Yeah. And last week was Mother's Day. So we had a break for that. Tough time for myself. And I'm sure it's a tough time for many others out there. So anyone that struggled last week with Mother's Day, I love you. It's a hard time. Dates in that calendar for people, man. Cause triggers. Yeah. Big triggers. Big triggers. I spoke about this because I'm currently on a peer support course, which Lee actually randomly said yesterday, didn't you, bro?
I did, yeah.
You messaged me, voice message, didn't you, saying, got something for you if you're interested. And then you said about getting the lads who run the Man United admin team on a peer support kind of course or something.
Yeah, so I kind of mentioned the fact that when you're doing stuff like this, it's all well and good having a conversation about stuff that you're experiencing, i.e. from other people, but you need an outlet because we tend to let a lot of stuff from other people hook into us and we take it as our own and we try to make sense of it. But when you're sitting around and you're having peer supervision and you're being very objective about the stuff and the information you're receiving from other people, you can then dump it, for want of a better word, because it doesn't belong to you. Because we tend to take a lot of responsibility from others with us and we kind of make it our own and it kind of manifests in different ways. And it's really good to kind of sit down and go, look, I spoke to this person the other day and this really hooked into me, or this really resonated, or it triggered me. and I don't understand why. And it gives you an opportunity to talk about it amongst, you know, in a really safe space, but amongst people that kind of understand because they're going through the same thing or they've experienced the same thing. And when I was going through my training, you know, we had to have supervision like every 2 weeks, and we talk about our cases, and if there was anything about the case that resonated with us or that was similar to any experiences that we'd gone through, because we had to give it back to the clients because it was theirs to make sense of. And so when they left the session, they were going with what they left, but they were making more sense of it and understanding it because it wasn't our problem. And it was kind of important that, especially the stuff that you guys are doing, that you kind of, you know, you leave it at the front door before you take it inside. And it was just weird that I'd mentioned that to you and you was on a course.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm doing a peer support course. I even took a photo of the Zoom meeting. It was like, that's weird shit.
It was bizarre. It was really bizarre.
Some weird fucking portal paranormal shit happening there.
Telepathy stuff going on, man.
Big time.
That's sick though. I like that. And they go to show, like, you meet people just like that, and the connection you can end up having, like, Bidds is doing that, you send him something that he's doing. So we're here to make a difference, man.
We are, mate.
It is, and I think that, you know, as we were saying at the start, you know, it's all about information. It's all about sharing. You know, it's all knowledge. You know, there's similarities and experiences, but that one piece of knowledge is a golden nugget to somebody. You know, it really is. Like, that can completely change somebody's life. Just a simple sentence that maybe one of the three of us will throw about in this, and then someone will go, "I get that. That's me."
Yeah.
And that will change the course, the direction of what they're going in. You know, it really does.
Yeah, it's good because we've got a good example of that golden nugget that you've just explained. Because me and Monty last week took a mental health talk in a local college.
Right.
So the students were between 16 and 18. I think we were on for about 45 minutes. Basically just getting into the head that it's okay to talk about mental health. You know, don't let that emotional explosion happen and then you do something drastic. And we've had some really good feedback off that, and students actually reached out to the lecturer and after that meeting and said that they needed help. So boom,
That's
victory.
Victory, my friend. Victory.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, mate. Is that one thing
Yes.
changed that dude's life.
Like what you said, it is so good as well when you're sharing or like trying to help someone, but you also then sort of take it back onto your own self with your own life experiences. So use your own life as an example of what you're trying to explain, and then at least, and I think whoever you're speaking to then actually can, like, oh my God, it actually has happened to him as well.
Yeah.
He's experienced that. And when you've got that in you, and then you're sort of like spreading the love and the awareness, people can identify with it a bit more.
Absolutely.
How can, obviously, I'm not saying they can't do it, but someone who maybe not have experienced certain things to an extent, giving advice, but then they can't sort of then give an example of that advice they're given because they've never like been through that.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it becomes quite generic. You know, if you're learning a particular trade and you're teaching that trade, you don't fall outside that. But we all learn differently.
Yeah.
You know, I'm visual and I like to be showing stuff, and I learn. Some people like to learn by being verbal, you know, and they're told something. Some people are shown something. You know, we're all different. It's like sitting in a class and like constantly putting your hand up and going, "I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it." It don't mean that you're slow. It just means the way that you're teaching me doesn't connect.
I used to be scared, you know, when obviously me coming from Colombia, I couldn't speak a word of English, and I'm sat in class like this, and I was like, but I was so scared to be laughed at.
Well, if you put your hand up.
Yeah, to put my hand up, because then if I put my hand up, in what language I'm gonna speak to the teacher? She's not gonna understand Spanish.
You could teach.
Oh mate, it was tough.
But that's the problem right there, though, right? Is that asking, is putting your hand up, because you've been your kind of your understanding of asking for help means that you're stupid or that you're going to be laughed at or ridiculed. Really, all you're doing is going, look, what you're saying to me, I don't understand it. You need to tell me in a way that I understand. And that's kind of what's going on now in regards to mental health, is the fact that I don't want to ask you for help, because I've asked people for help in the past and it's fallen on deaf ears because they don't get it, because I don't know how to articulate how I was feeling. So therefore, if I'm going, I need you to help me, they're going to go, with what? But because I'm going, I'm not telling them nothing, and they're not saying nothing back to me, and I'm thinking they're ignoring me, which then I'm going to retreat even further into myself and make the problem even worse than what it is, because I don't know how to explain it. And so how are they going to know? And it's so each one of us talking something is giving somebody else a voice or a language that they can identify with and go, that's the words I've been trying to find. Like, you've just given them to me and now I can give them to somebody else because they're going to help me now. But we don't know that until we do it.
It got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm done here and I can't speak the language. I need something, and I needed to go to the toilet, and I didn't know how to say it, mate. And I'm going, you know what? And then she was like, yeah, what's wrong? Obviously, whatever she said back to me sounded like, yeah, what do you need?
Yeah.
Joe?
Should have just put your hand up and just gone. That might have worked for you, mate.
Mate, it was funny. But I think after that, I came out my comfort zone, and I was like, you know, I need to try. If I need to learn, if I want to learn the language, I need to even try and speak broken Spanish, English. I need something here. So I started picking up things. If I heard a word, I used to go home. Like my journey home was about an hour, right? And on the way home, whichever word I heard, I would stick it in my head. Say, like, if it was, oh my God, or stick in my head, repeat, oh my God, 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 all the way home. When I got home, Mum, what does oh my God mean? Then she'll tell me in Spanish. So then I started putting one word and two words together, and I started putting sentences together. And I repeat that same sentence the whole week because I understood what it meant.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then they'll come back with what they were saying. I'm like, I need to go home now. What did you say?
Yeah. What do you want for your dinner today, Christian? Oh my God.
Oh
my God. Oh my God.
If it works, mate. It works, doesn't it? Fully works.
But that's see there though, like, that's a good point, well made, right? Because what you've done is you found a way to communicate, and by finding a way to communicate, even if it's just a broken word, you then went away and found another way to pass that across. And it's like anything, is when you find something, when you find a word and you can communicate and someone gets it, then you go away and you find more, and you start to looking for more stuff. So it's like saying, I need you to help me. And then you've said it because it's like, right, I've just opened the door now, you know, so like there's something in there that I can go in and see what it is. And then you're going to go and explore other things. And that's where you start to gather more information and start to understand more. And so where you're practicing that sentence and then you're adding more words to it, your vocabulary is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you understand what I mean? And it's like with mental health, when you first say to somebody, I'm struggling here, that's it. You know, you've said it, it's out. They're aware that there's something going on inside. And then you start to make your vocabulary bigger, and then you start going in search of other people, and you start gravitating to other people that are suffering and people that are still, you know, that are saying the same things as you. And that's how your world then starts to get bigger, and you start to then understand what it is that you're dealing with. And you start to understand how to then find coping mechanisms that work for you, because it's got to be something that works for you. You know, it's tried and tested for somebody else, but you've got to bastardize the arse out of that to make sure that it works for you. And and that's how it works. You just kind of, by that one sentence, and then your vocabulary got huge.
Yeah. I can speak to you guys now.
It's finding that relation as well, and it's someone that relates to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if I go out or to the shop or something, and I'm bump into someone, and just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?" I'd be like, "I'm struggling today." Majority of the time, they'd fucking walk off because they wouldn't know what to say. People don't know how to approach the subject of mental health. I've witnessed it so many times, especially like in my younger days. Like when I was in school, nothing was spoken about mental health. I didn't know I was having a bad day. I might have been in a bad mood. I didn't know something was triggering me. I wasn't taught that. I wasn't learning about mental health in any sort of way until me adult now 5 years ago probably. That sounds mad. That I only opened up 5 years ago about my struggles. It's fucking mad.
It's crazy.
Think about it now, and it's like I spent majority of my teenage years and the opening stages of my adult life struggling, but not knowing what the fuck was going on in my head. It's like if I had that realization earlier, what would I be doing now? Where would it be now? Who fucking knows?
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It makes you think really bad. It's like you were saying earlier about overthinking.
Yeah.
Like I overthink things as well, but not at the level I used to. I used to overthink everything, all situations. I'd overthink them, and then it just fucked me day up.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally relate to that, mate. You know, I used to get changed like 5 times just to go to the corner shop.
Yeah.
Literally up and downstairs changed because I was going to the corner shop. It was 2 minutes on the corner that I knew everybody that worked in there. But my anxiety wouldn't let me get out the door. If we was going out for dinner, I'd stop. We've got to turn around and go back. You know, I don't feel comfortable. You know, and we'll be off there. So I don't care. We need to go back. Otherwise, I'd sit there and I'd constantly worry. I wouldn't engage with anybody. I'd go really into myself. You know, and then I'd use alcohol as a way to cope with it. It would cripple me. Literally cripple me.
What was the getting changed about? Was it the way you looked?
Yeah. I think it was more about how people saw me. So if I wouldn't go like, whereas now I wouldn't think twice about running down the shop. Well, can't run down the shop, but going to the shop in my tracksuit, or if I've been working in the garden, it doesn't bother me now. Do you know what I mean? But back then it was like what people would think, and I managed to track it back. So the more work I've done on myself, and the more I started to realize it was like something from my childhood. My mom, you have good clothes and bad clothes.
Yeah.
Like, don't put decent clothes on, don't put your good clothes on. And it goes back to that. And it was like, if we went out with my mum, she would always make sure that we was dressed immaculately with our good clothes on.
Yeah.
Because we was a representation of her. And that always stuck. And I think up until about probably 6 or 7 years ago, I still had that kind of, these are the good clothes, and this is, these are normal everyday clothes. And I'd always make sure that I'd wear my good clothes if I was going out into places I've never been before.
Yeah.
Whereas every day's a good day, you know what I mean? You should always look like, make an effort. But I managed to work out that was what it was. It was that kind of.
That's mad.
Crazy.
That's mad, man.
We have touched on that a lot of times, but isn't that in regards of like a lot of the mental health, emotional health issues that we tend to have at our older ages.
Yeah.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
That one event that happened at that stage that we're not aware of it. We're just kids anyway. And as we're growing up, we tend to forget about our journey, what has got us to the position that we're in now. But then when if we take a moment to sit down and reflect on our life and start pinpoint things, we come to terms that, Jesus, that's what he was when I was this age. This is what happened. So now I'm acting like this. And you start putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
But a lot of human beings tend not to go back there because of the fear or the pain that stage caused in their life, whether they're kids, whether they're teenagers, whatever age they were in, but it's something that we have to do to be able to grow. And I think you done that, Lee, in regards of like, you know what, my clothes, I'm changing all the time. Oh, this is what mum was like. This is what she made me wear when I was with her. This is what I had to wear when I was on my own.
Mm.
And now you've realized that every day is a good day to look good and to make the best of your days and to just feel for yourself anyway.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever day it is, you have to do it for yourself. I need to look good for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
We got filters nowadays, anyway, aren't we?
My filter.
You got filters, mate.
Yeah,
You can make yourself look like a dog. I'd love that if I was a kid. Make yourself look like a dog.
You know, right.
All right, if you could be an animal, which animal would you be?
Me? That'd be a lion all day, mate.
What about you, Lee?
Me, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'd be a penguin.
Why?
Because penguins are loyal, and penguins stick to what they do. So they stay together. They help each other. They enable each other. They move together as a crew and as a pack. And I've just got this thing about penguins, man. I just love them. You know what I mean? And they and men and women look after and rear their children themselves, you know, between them. So the man will go off and look for food, the woman will go off and look for food, and they both take on each other's roles.
Yeah.
And I just love that, you know what I mean? And I've always liked penguins from like a young age. They stink to fuck. but I'm just penguins, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's a good combination. If you got a penguin with a mindset of a lion, imagine that.
What about you? What would you be, mate?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll be a bird or something, mate. You can fly everywhere for free.
What kind of bird?
Oh, you know, I never thought about that.
Predator?
Nah, can't be a predator.
You could be an eagle or a pigeon, you know what I mean?
Oh, don't be a pigeon.
I'll be a little pigeon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love that. So we got a penguin, we got a pigeon, lion. So I know which one of the three of us is still going to be alive after this.
Yes. I mean, that's
all of us.
Stroking the mane as well.
Yeah.
It's that mane, mate. The lion's mane. Wow. Come on.
I like that.
Just flicking your tail in the sun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's mad. It's mad that you brought that up because this morning I was watching some videos on Instagram. There's a Instagram page called I think it's something like Africa Wildlife. Something. It's basically this like a zoo, but safari. And so the workers that work there have got like these mad like relationships with these lions, mate. Honestly, like they're lying down with them and like a fucking pet.
Really?
And like this guy like runs off, this lion chases him and like proper like goes for him. And like it's only play like, but wow. Mad. Got some chimpanzees on there as well.
Get a chimpanzees, mate.
Yeah.
Get them chimpanzees, right?
Yeah, Lee knows about the chimpanzees.
That Bidds told us a story about the chimpanzees. Have you told Lee?
Yeah, he knows. Fully knows, mate.
I haven't forgotten about that, mate. I'm still trying to process that.
Yeah.
I look at the monkey the same way again, mate. Bubbles, I could just imagine what kind of monkey Bubbles was, you know what I mean?
Woohoo! They look so nice, don't they, though? Come on. Cool animal.
Monkey.
Just don't fuck with them on your birthday.
No way. No way. So, Lee, you are a life coach, right?
I am, yes.
So, how did you get involved in that? It's not always something you've done, is it?
No. So basically I used to work for the Ministry of Defence.
Okay.
Brilliant in military environment. And about 6 years ago, about 6.5 years ago, I had a breakdown. Basically, you know, you can have so much, and then at some point, something's got to give. Yeah, I mean, when you get to rock bottom, mate, they don't take vacancies there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of got to find your own back on the way back. So, I had bouts of psychosis, I had paranoia, insecurity, massively just completely imploded. You know, to the point that I thought I was being followed. So I'd throw my mobile phones away, watches, contact cards. I phoned an ambulance on myself one day and asked them to come and get me because I was just, so my husband was on the phone and it was really making me paranoid. And I was going to, who are you phoning? Who are you phoning? He's like, I'm phoning your mum. You know, I'm going to phone your mum. I was like, I don't believe it. I kept trying to snatch the phone out of his hand. And anyway, I managed to get the phone out of his hand, and it was my mum. I went to, who are you with? And she went, I'm with so and so. I went, put her on the phone, because I had to confirm it was her.
Yeah.
How many kids have you got? And she went, I've got 4. I went, you're lying to me.
What the fuck?
Because she's got 2 kids, but I didn't realise she had 2 stepkids. But she said 4, so it completely threw me. So what it was doing is it was basically confirming that it wasn't her on the phone, and he was lying, because I was so far in this episode of psychosis. So the ambulance turned up, and then I wouldn't let him in the house. And I was like, no, fuck off, and all this. You know, just anything. I just wasn't believing nothing. And then my mother-in-law turned up, and I managed to let her in the house because I had to make her prove to me that it was her through the letterbox.
Yeah.
So she came in, and then she had a handful of mints, and I was standing there, like, they were standing in front of me, facing each other, and she gave him a mint, but she didn't give me one. So I just freaked even more. And then she left. I made her leave the house, and it was just me and him and the dog. And then I managed then I got into the ambulance because I was thinking, like, you know, I need to get, so I got into the ambulance, and I felt they were being really horrible to me. I had a cut on my head and all that, and they wouldn't dress it. And then that was just making it even worse. So we got to the hospital, and in my head, I'd already planned that I was going to escape, because I felt they were going to take me in and they were going to section me and they were going to keep me in, and I was never going to come out again.
Yeah.
When I got out of the ambulance, I fell on the floor on purpose outside the reception, and I was banging on the window to the woman and saying to her, like, help me. She was just looking at me as if I was mad. And then I went into the hospital, sat down at the reception, and I went to the nurse, the triage nurse. I went, I haven't got to stay here, have I? And she went to me, no. And I went, right, and I run through the hospital, came out the other side. I ditched my phone, I ditched my watch, anything I had on me, I ditched, apart from my credit card, because it was the only thing that had my name on it. And I remember running up this road, and literally my heart was beating out of my chest, and I just thought everyone was chasing me. And I ran to the hospital that I was born in, which was like 2 miles up the road. And I went into the reception. I went to the guy, look, this is what's happened. This is my credit card. Can you phone somebody? And he was like, mate, I don't even know who you are. You know, this hospital was like for old people now. I couldn't even admit you if I wanted to. And an ambulance drove past outside, and it was the same ambulance that had picked me up, and I thought they were searching for me. And it was just, anyway, I ended up running up this middle of this road, thinking that everybody in the cars going past me were trying to get me into their cars. So I just started running, and I didn't know where I was running to, because every time I tried to go in the direction of my mum's house, I just felt that everyone was looking at me, were trying to capture me. And anyway, I found myself outside this church. And because when you're in psychosis, everything's association. So everything you see is associated to what's going on in your brain. Do you know what I mean? And in my brain, everyone was trying to kidnap me to take me away. And then I was seeing like associations to like family. So like daffodils were associations to my nan. There was like other little things that were just associations. And I remember knocking on this church door for the people that live next door in the church. Like the chaplain, and he never answered the door. So I sat outside this church, and I was sitting, I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. And there was a guy that was sitting inside the church, but a little bit further down, and he kept looking at me, and I was thinking, oh my God, he must be like Secret Service or something. Like, he's come to find me. Anyway, he ended up coming up and sitting next to me, and we were chatting, and he was like, what's your problem? And I was trying to explain to him what was going on, and it just wasn't happening. And I was going to say, what are you here for? And he went, I live over the road. He said, me and my missus have fallen out, and she won't let me see the kids and all this. So I'm having this conversation with this guy, trying to hold it all together and trying to get him to go over and knock on his door, and his wife's door, for her to then invite him in. I said, look, she's coming out with the baby in her arms. Like, she's trying to say to you, look, come and talk to me and all this. And he's like, so I'm trying to fix this guy whilst I'm falling to pieces next to him. Like, it was really crazy. It was just so surreal. And it felt like I was there for days, like literally for days. And I see my sister drive past. So I've kind of waved her down. And I went to her, she went, come and get in the car and I'll take you home. I can't leave. I can't walk past this line, you know, because if I walk past the line, I'm not going to be protected by the church anymore. And I'm not even religious.
Wow.
Not even religious in the slightest.
No.
But I'm so inside my head now that I couldn't get out. Do you know what I mean? And I remember, and my nephew was there as well. And I went to her, don't let him see me like this. Like, I don't want him to see me like this. Do you know what I mean? So she found my other sister and they come and pick me up. And I got in the car and I just felt like, I felt 5 years old. Like, I was just crying. I was saying, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
She was like, don't worry, you're safe. You know what I mean? I was like, but I'm supposed to be looking after you. And it was just kind of, look, don't worry, we got you. Do you know what I mean? And I remember going home to my mum's house and my mum was there and both of my sisters and my nephew was in the front room. And then my husband came in with his mum and we sat down and like, he was in tears and she was in tears and all that. And I was just sitting around his table and I was just sobbing. And I was like, look, I went, you got to tell me off. And she went to me, no. She went, look, you're here, you're safe, you're all right. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry, we'll get you help. And my sister worked at the hospital and she was like, look, I can get you in. We can get you assessed and you can stay in. I'm not going in. I said, because I go in, they're not going to let me out. You know what I mean? I don't believe myself, so they're not going to fucking believe me. Do you know what I mean? And it was then when I sat down and I went to, oh, by the way, so if you're not going to tell me off, I need to tell you this. You know, I tried to commit suicide like a couple of months ago. And my mum was like, fuck, all right, you know, but you're here. So she was present. Like, she was present and she was kind of like, look, I can't change what has happened, but what I can do is let you know where we are now and let's move forward with this. And I think that was the massive turning point for me. Do you know what I mean? Was the fact that I couldn't go any further down than I already was.
Yeah.
Couldn't go any further. There was nowhere else for me to go. Do you know what I mean? And then I just kind of opened up about a lot of stuff that was going on or that had happened. And then kind of, I think it just switched. You know, like you just kind of like, all right, so this is the worst that it is. The worst that it is. You know, I've tried to remove myself from this planet and it didn't work. Then I've gone through all this kind of, you know, this internalization of everything. And, you know, I'm still here. So there's a reason. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason for it. And it kind of, from there, it just kind of, it changed. It just totally changed for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's mad, mate. Honestly, that's mad. Thanks for sharing that with us. I mean, that's something like you see in a film.
Yeah.
I couldn't, you know, that's the kind of, like, I've dumbed that down a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is happening over the course of a day. I was, you know, there was one point I was sitting on the corner of the road and this woman pulled up in her car and she went to me, can I help you? And I was like, you can't help me. Nobody can help me. And she went, are you sure? And I went, and she drove back around and she went to me, are you sure? And I went, there is nothing, honestly, you don't want me in your life because there's just, you know what I mean? And that was just the kindness of some random stranger that just saw this huge bloke sitting on a corner crying. Do you know what I mean? And she was this tiny little woman that in her car. And it was just kind of like, who does that? Like, who does that? Was
this like a build up that you kind of bottled up?
I think for me, you know, I know now because I know and I'm so aware now, you know,
yeah.
I know so much, but I can probably track it back for at least 3 decades. Like, I'm 46. And so I know even in my teenage years, mate, you know, I had this dark cloud that followed me.
Yeah.
I had issues with being gay because I didn't know what it was like to be gay, how I was supposed to act, you know, what I was supposed to look like, because the people that I knew were gay were very not me.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself being like that. You know, I wanted children, I wanted to get married, but how I was feeling was telling me differently. So I had that inner turmoil from that, you know. I think also, you know, as the eldest child and being a boy, you know, and being in a single parent family, you kind of get a lot of responsibility as well that comes with being the eldest child. It's just how it is. And so you kind of carry a lot of that stuff with you as well. Even with friends, I always thought because I was different anyway, and I would hide how I was feeling inside, I always kind of put myself on the periphery of people as opposed to being in the middle of it. But then I battled with that, thinking that I wasn't part of that as well. So I had it, you know, for me, as I said to you, because I'm so aware now, I know that I can sit down and I've untangled so much of my own stuff that I totally get the person that I am now, you know.
Yeah.
So I've got a complete full circle, as in totally fucked up, to like so balanced that I kind of embraced that that's part of who I was and who I am. Do you know what I mean? But never thought I'd live past 30 at some point. And then when I got to 40, I was like, fucking, you know, just like drugs and alcohol and all that sort of stuff, because they were all coping mechanisms. They were just way of dealing with stuff. And then what happens is that there's only so much that you can take. There's only so much that you can hold. And then something has to give. It has to give. And it did. And I just imploded. You know, I was taking a lot of responsibility at work, and, you know, disposable income and burning the candle at both ends. And at some point, everything just has to go, that's it. And it did. And then I think I had like 3 months off of work. And then I started doing some counseling. And that changed my life. I started to realize that actually I can talk about this shit. And and for me, talk therapy is like the best therapy that you can get, even if you're just talking to your pal in the pub. You know, I've always been good with people. I've always understood people. I've always been able to tap into people, you know, like listen and really hear people and really see people. You know, people would always come to me and go, what would you do about this? And, you know, I've got this issue, I've got this problem, what would you do? And I'd be very objective. You know, I wouldn't give, well, if it was me, it'd be like, well, have you thought about this? Or did you think about that? Or give a suggestion. Do you know what I mean? Because you're giving them back their power. You're saying to them, well, if I give you this, what would you do with it? But I was never good at taking my own advice, because I wasn't ready.
I think we're all guilty of that, though. I mean, well, guilty is a pretty strong word, but I think we've all been in that situation where, you know, we just didn't feel ready at some point. It's like with the counselling that you had. What was the build up like for you? Because I know mine was a fucking nightmare.
I think I was ready. I think because I'd got everything out, you know, with my mom and my family, like my immediate family. Like, I was ready then to kind of embark on this change. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I've occupied this space for so long now. I need something different. Like, I need to know what it's like to be me, because I didn't know what it was like. I was being for everybody else, but I just wasn't giving Lee anything, and I didn't know who it was. And for years, I was like, I didn't want to be someone's son. I didn't want to be someone's husband. I didn't want to be someone's brother, but I didn't know what it was like to be me. You know, I didn't know how to facilitate myself. And I think that's just kind of, a lot of us experience that in different ways, because we have so many labels attached to us, and we have things that we have to live up to, and so many expectations, but they're never our own. Like, they're never our own expectations. It's always what we're taught and what we're led to believe. And it's difficult to peel a lot of that stuff away, because we don't know what is us and what is from other people and what we've learned. You know, it's all part of that learned behavior. It's that cycle. If you believe something, therefore it is, you know, therefore I am. And we have no sense of self.
Yeah. With the coaching side, did you do any qualifications to that, or do you use a lot of your life experiences as well? Was it a bit of a mix?
So as I said at the beginning, I worked for the MOD, and I trained to become an army welfare worker. And what we do is we train to be a coach, we train to be counsellors, and we train to be social workers. Now, the counselling and social worker is kind of low-level stuff. You know, it's a lot of theory, it's a lot of presenting issues and stuff like that. Whereas the coaching is about, look, we're here, this is where you are now, let's get you to where you need to go to. So I've got a level 7 qualification in that, which is just below like a master's degree.
Wow.
You got like a 7-month course.
Is it like one of them real intense courses? Like,
no, it was residential, so it was Monday to Friday. Don't forget, I'm still coming to terms with, this was like 5 or 6 months after my breakdown, but it came at the right time. It was right for me. A lot of people would have gone like, it's too soon, but it was like, no, I need this. I need to understand why I am the way that I am. And going on this course turned me inside out.
Instead of like you attacking yourself, you sort of like tackle yourself.
Yeah. That's such a good way to put it. You know, I tackled so much shit. I was going home every weekend and I was like, guess what? Bang, 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 bang. Offloading and then leaving again on a Sunday, still trying to deal with like insecurity and still trying to deal with paranoia. But I knew this is what I had to do for me. You know, I was literally understanding who Lee is.
Yeah, you went from giving, and then attacking yourself. Then you sort of like, you said, I'm done with this. I'm gonna attack rather than, I'm gonna tackle rather than attack myself. So everything that you was in front of you, you were tackling, you were going head on.
Yeah.
Dealing with you know what? That's incredible, man. Because that story, like I was speechless, man. I was just listening and taking it all in, like.
You know, that's the first time I've actually said that in what, like, so I even though I've lived it, and obviously, as I said, my immediate family know that, you know, that's the kind of first time I've played it out in my head so many times, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it always seemed quite surreal. It's like, how do you explain that to somebody? Like, no one's going to believe that shit, you know what I mean? Unless you were there. And even when I was there, I was like, what the fuck? Do you know?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But it's true, you know, it's really true. And so the course was a 7-month course. It was 4 months residential, and then you go on to placement. You're given your clients, and then you qualify. We went on like Victory down in Portsmouth, and we had like the parade and all that on there, and you get your certificate and all that, you know. And I loved it. Do you know what? For the first time in my life, I had a career, something that I could do with that was just natural to me, and I was getting paid. Do you know what I mean? So I'd found my vocation in life, and what I learned from that is that sometimes I always believed the reason I felt the way that I felt was because they thought I was strong enough to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? That was my justification for feeling so shit. That was my justification for sitting totally in the dark all the time, because I could deal with it. And that one day they're going to go, you know what, you've done really, really well. We'll let you out for a little while. You know what I mean? You can go and play with everybody else. And that's what it was like. You know, you're constantly dancing with the devil. You're kind of thinking like, at some point this music's got to stop, man. You know what I mean? It has to. Like, I've got to be able to kind of get up and go out and kind of go mix with everybody else. But you don't. You have your good days, but you don't know they're good because you want to go back to what you know, which is the shit days, because it's normal. You can deal with that. You can cope with that sort of stuff. But when you have a good day and you're happy, you're kind of like, I don't know what this feeling's like. It's not natural. It's not a normal feeling. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, as we said at the beginning, there has to be an opposite to everything.
Yeah.
And because I occupied that space for so long, I was done. I was done. I needed to go out and find peace. I needed to go and find out what was going to be good for me. So I started filling up my own cup. And what I was learning about myself was just incredible. Really, really incredible, because you're so used to putting yourself down and you're so used to telling yourself the same story. So you were saying earlier on about language. If you're telling yourself you're shit, you're going to be shit. You're going to go and attract shit. You're going to do shit because that's what you're so used to. You know, it's that learned behavior. But then if you start saying, if someone says to you, but you're really good at this, and you're going, yeah, no, I'm not. It's like, but you are. It's like, yeah, I'm not. It's like, right, look, let me show you this. Let me show you what you can do. And then you'll start believing it. And that's what happens. You start changing your narrative. You start changing your story. You start telling yourself, actually, I can do this. I can get out of bed. I can go to work. I can help these people. You know what I mean?
Lee, that's a good example. You said when someone you're giving compliments to, they're good at something, and they say, no, I'm not. They're good at something. But then you go and sort of show them why you're saying what you're saying. What about if after you've done that, they still come back and say, no, I'm not good?
You break it down.
How do you then challenge that? How do you then help them to try and believe in themselves that they are actually good, that you're seeing something good in them, but after you show them, they're still saying that they're not good? How do you challenge that? How do you sort of?
So you know when I said to you at the beginning about you're a forward thinker, and you went to me, yeah. And I went, how are you a forward thinker? And you went, because I plan a couple of things in advance. So there is a compliment for you. That's really good that you do that. That's quite positive. And then he was like, Oh yeah, I know. And then I said to you, then you went like, it's either good or bad. And I went, what about the in-between bit? And you went, well, that's kind of growth. And I went, so then you're growing. So then if you're showing people that if you're doing something really small and minute, that's growth, because you're different to the person you was yesterday. You're different to the person you was an hour ago. You're giving them solid, tangible shit to look at, and they can't say no because they've done it themselves. And so you're just giving it back to them and going to them, but that's what you did. And they're like, oh yeah. So they might not get it right then, but they'll go away and reflect on it, and they'll go away and think about it. And then you'll come back and the attitude's different because they know that they can achieve it. Anything that we've been through it. We come out the other end. So then you use that. Like whenever I coach anybody, I go, tell me about what you did. Tell me about what you can do. Tell me your talents, and I'll show you a skill. Do you know what I mean? And they go, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, what did you do? What did you do as a job? Right, so you did that. Yeah, but I don't do it now. No, but you did do that. So it's still there. You know, we can pull it back out of you. You can build on that. But people will look back on their past and all the negative shit.
Yeah,
You can spin that around because there was still good stuff to go with that. We just have to pull that out for you to see it and go, right, now let's build on that. You know, let's build on what you did. You was a striker, but now you're a left back, but you can play all over the pitch. You can switch your mind into different roles.
yeah.
There's a skill. You learn that, but your talent is a footballer. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how you're breaking it down? So your mindset will always switch because you're so fixed on, well, I'm just a striker. Mate, you're a footballer. You play football. You have a position that you play within that role as a footballer, but you can still occupy other positions on that pitch because you're first and foremost, you are a footballer. It's just how you think about it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. Basically, we grow through what we go through.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And a lot, and we've discussed this obviously before, where looking back to our past, it turns out to be something to be fearful of when it shouldn't. You should look back to your past and see it's like, you know what, this is where I was, this is where I am. I've been through that. Tomorrow's a new day. It's gonna be a good day. It's how you approach the next step, but obviously not forgetting about the now, the present.
Exactly.
But for you to then approach the next day with a bit more of light, you've got to actually embrace and acknowledge what you've been through.
Yeah. Because you think, right, the person that you was is given the baton to the person that you are now. You ain't staying where you are because you're moving somewhere else.
Yeah.
You've got the responsibility now of that past person to make sure that the new person, the future person, is the better version of that. That's the responsibility you've got now in the present.
It's like it's like with like myself with like triggers. I can subconsciously stop them from happening without me even realizing I've done anything. It's like last weekend was like a real shit weekend. I just deactivated Facebook, just did it without really thinking about it, and then I was good. And I was talking to a mate the other day, just saying like how the weekend went and whatever. I was like, obviously like struggled and that, and then he was like, well, you deactivated Facebook, didn't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, why'd you do that? I was like, don't know, like just did it. He's like, well, has it helped you? I was like, yeah, it did actually, yeah. He's like, well, you've obviously done something without realizing that's helped you. And I think sometimes people don't realize they're doing things that's helping them, which blows my mind, because I didn't think, oh, I'm just going to deactivate Facebook now because it's setting all my triggers off and it's making me feel worse. I just did it without even thinking, really. I just hit the deactivate button.
It's true.
Yeah, subconscious mind, mate, can sometimes be pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah. But you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it. You have to do whatever you're doing is for you.
Yeah, I didn't acknowledge it.
Doing it.
I didn't acknowledge it, mate. That's the thing. I had to have my mate to literally say, well, you've done that and it's worked for you.
Yeah.
And then I've had to think back, thinking, oh shit, yeah, that worked for me.
Yeah.
So at the time, I didn't acknowledge it because I didn't really think much of it. But now I'm thinking, it's like, fuck, that was a good thing I did that. Also, I could have had a really, really fucking shit week. It fucking energized me, mate. Facebook shit. I hate it. I fucking hate it. The only reason why I'm on there is because of the Man United group and the podcast. That's it. I hate scrolling through shit that people are sharing. It's fucking.
All right. So let me stop you right there for a second, then, Mark, because this is where you just contradicted yourself. You just went, I hate Facebook, but I'm only on there for the Man United, and I'm only on there for whatever the last bit was. I hate scrolling through it. So you're still scrolling through it then?
Yeah.
So you're addicted to it. But do you see what I mean?
Yeah. But
so there you're right. So there you're being accountable for yourself, because you're going, well, actually, do you know what? It's only me that's sitting there scrolling through my Facebook. Nobody's making me do it.
Yeah.
So if you acknowledge it for what it really is, then you start to realize what you're actually doing.
Yeah. It's weird though, because I could be watching telly and I could automatically pick my phone up, open Facebook and just start doing it, and just I'm not even reading. That's the thing. I'm not even fucking reading what it is. I'm just scrolling through. My thumb's just moving. I'm not even reading it. Then I think to myself, what am I doing? I put my phone back down and carry on watching what I was watching.
Mate, that's a habit.
I need to break that fucking habit. To be fair, I did, because he had a week completely off it, and my God, I was feeling good. Feeling good. So maybe I need to limit myself. Maybe I need to log off instead of just closing the app down. Maybe I need to log off.
Yeah.
You know what you should do? Change your password to the longest thing ever and, log out.
I'll forget it though, won't I?
You probably still try to log into it anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Auto login. Remember my password.
It would have that new thing, remember my face thing. You put your phone in, it will open it for you.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's something I need work on, like myself, because like I said, it works so much for me mentally. Being off Facebook completely, I didn't go on it for a week. It's so good, so good. But obviously,
your mind, mate. You know, like we look at is designed to make us look for patterns. So that's the pattern of behavior you've got. You know, is picking up your phone automatically because you're used to that behavior.
Yeah.
But you're not looking at anything.
No.
Just the pattern that you're used to of picking your phone up and not looking at nothing. But maybe I might come across something. So let's just stay a little bit longer, just in case. And then when you put your phone down, you'll go back 10 minutes later and do it. It's like going to the fridge, opening the fridge, there's nothing in there, but then open it, you know, the next time you go in there, someone's miraculously filled it up. You know, it's fairy or something, but it's not. But you're still going to open the fridge regardless, even though there's fuck all in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a habit.
Yeah.
How many times I've done that? I open the fridge and I'm thinking, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing here?
That's forgetfulness, that is, mate. Big cake. It's what you're after. That's what it is, mate. You're an athlete and you can't eat cake.
Oh, mate.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's something I need break. So hopefully I can get that done. I need fix some strategies in to break this vicious cycle of being on Facebook.
Just ask yourself what you get out of it.
Fuck all. But actually, no, there is some good parts. I can't bit harsh saying fuck all, because obviously I'm helping people on there within the Man United group, and I'm sending out all the links for the podcast. That's it, really. But then most of my time, like I say, I'm flicking.
All right, so here's an idea then. Why don't you unfollow people?
Unfollow everyone.
Bidds.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on the thing with the college when they're talking about social media and that.
Yeah.
And we touched as well that obviously I got rid of all my social media back in 2014 due to what I experienced.
Yeah.
What I was going through, and found nothing but negativity. And I had to deal with things away from obviously social media, which was affecting my life. Then I'm in a bad position mentally, physically, emotionally. Then I've gone social media. All I could see was me getting bullied, battered, laughed at. And then I had obviously depression, anxiety and all of that. And that was going to be the end of me. And then I got to the point where I say, you know what, I'm done with this. Like, delete Facebook, I delete Twitter, I delete Instagram, delete everything. That's when I started working on myself. And I've only come back to social media, I think it was 5.5 years ago. I came back to social media, but only Instagram. But then I only use it, like what we just said, like for things that will be beneficial to me, what I can see on my feeds that are going to help me grow and think differently.
Yeah. I see a lot more positivity on me Instagram feed than anywhere else.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I got rid of all like Twitter. Twitter, yeah, you can get out there a bit more exposure, but then there's also there'll be a lot of more negativity coming through because anyone can write to you, anyone can say what they want. When you've got Twitter, the only way you can see things being said about you, that's if you search your name. And obviously, like I don't do that. Like I don't give a damn about what people are saying about me, whether it's good or bad. I know what I am, I know who I am, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
But Instagram, I think with Instagram, you can control it a bit more.
Yeah.
And private, you can, and it's also just pictures or videos, and you can also choose obviously who you want to follow, who sees your feed, what feed you want to see. You can also block certain feeds for being popping up on your feeds. You get me? You can control it. If you want more negativity, that's your choice. If you want more positivity, that's your choice. It's down to what you want to see. That's how I see it now.
Yeah, I agree.
We had a conversation with the college the other day where they said, like, well, talk about social media, and I said, obviously for me, if I see something that's sort of like people are stunting, they have to live a life that they don't live, when in fairness, they're struggling. But if it's in front of me, if I see it, it makes it believable for me. So the way I turn things around, I don't say to myself, like, they're living a fake life. No, I say, well, if it's in front of me, I might not be able to afford that, but it shows that it's achievable if I work hard and if I want something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't care how that person is living. Whoever posted, I don't care how they're living. If they posted it, obviously, it's real. It's somewhere out there, whether that's his or not. It can be achieved. So it's how you see social media, and that's how I see it myself. Well, Facebook and all that thing, I don't really use them apart. It's too much.
I'm glad you brought up Instagram. I did say at the start of this episode that I've got a bit of a rant. It's a bit of a rant, but it's got a topic towards it, okay? So it's not like a complete, useless thing. It's around jealousy. This rant is, okay? So I've received, last couple of days, I've received a few messages, which are in me request, that the message request that you get. And it's not porn, by the way, Monty. Before we get onto that one, there's no porn this week again, mate.
Not
fun. Sorry?
Yeah, I get a lot of that, mate. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm horny, come fuck me and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I just can't do that.
I'm all right, thank you. But no, I had a few, and they're up to that. I've checked them out, the real people. And one of the messages said, "Your content is shit. I'm unfollowing you." And I couldn't reply because they blocked me. So, and then the other message was, "Why so many likes on your shit content?"
Well, the same person?
No, different person. But again, I couldn't reply because they blocked me. Okay.
The same person.
But you think, maybe someone's got a trolley.
It's got to be the same person that's been reporting you for ages.
Well, it's perfectly fine. So, yeah, I couldn't respond because I was blocked. Okay. And my response would have been completely nice. It wouldn't have been horrible. Okay. The main response to that would be, the reason why my posts are so, in brackets, shit, okay, it's because they're so positive. And the reason why they're positive is because the suicide rate is currently shooting up like a bastard, okay? And that is because people aren't talking. People are bottling shit up. People are leaving their emotions to get that explosion stage. And there's people like myself and Lee and you, Monty, and there's thousands of us, millions of other people that do the same, that are raising awareness about the topic of mental health and how important it is to talk, okay? So please, please, please keep on sending them messages, because you're probably not going to get very far in life. Yours sincerely, Bidds.
Take a bow, mate. Take a bow. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, it's I don't know why. It's just jealousy, man. And I don't know if people, it's an insecurity thing with jealousy or what. I mean, I don't know if have you had situations where people have been jealous with you, Monty?
Yeah, plenty, bro.
Insecurity.
Yeah, reasons. And with me, instead of them blocking me, I block them.
Oh, baby.
I've been through that stage where I've had a lot of negativity, and yeah, negativity and obstacles and things are part of life. It's just how obviously I'm in control of what I can do. So if I get something that's negative and I don't really like it, I don't really like the vibe when I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Even if it's nothing too big, but if I don't get the vibe with the comment, I'm blocking them. But
Yeah,
I've got no time. That's what I do, man. Because I'm hot-headed. So you know what I'm like.
Oh yeah, them handbags out, baby.
I'm hot-headed, and if anything, if I read too much into this thing, then obviously I put myself in a bad mood. And it's about being aware, and I'm aware of that now. Where what they're saying is not putting me in a bad mood. I'm putting myself in a bad mood because of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in a bad mood just because I'm reading something that don't read right to me in my head. I just block them.
Yeah, I think it's a probably good thing that
See you later. Ciao, papi. Hasta luego.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that they did block me, because I'm not sure what my response would have been.
Right. So is it a response or is it a reaction?
Well, it would have been a reaction, wouldn't it?
Right. So now you've had a chance to think about it and you reflect on it. Now it's a response, because actually, you know what? I've taken the good from that and I've gone to you. This is what I'm going to do. But your reaction would have been like,
yes.
How do you feel? Do you know what I mean? There's a difference there. And that's where the power is. The power is in your response, not your reaction, because you're giving away in the reaction. Do you know what I mean? But a response, you're going, all right, mate, I'll take that. I'll think about that for a little while. I'll digest it and I'll spit out the shit that doesn't work for me and I'll take what I can use. And that's what you did. It's
just one of them emotions that I just don't get. Jealousy. I just don't get it. It's like I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's like if someone's doing something good, doing good things, and then there's always going to be that one person, or maybe more people that always have that kick in the dick, basically. Mm-hmm. And I think, like you said, if I wasn't blocked, my reaction would have been probably different, because it was like that spur of the moment kind of thing. Like, I see red quite quick. Boom. Like, you're having it, boy. One of them. But so it's a good thing I think it's a good thing they were blocked.
They've done yourself a favour, really.
Yeah, because sometimes, man, like I said, the filter's not there. The filter's not there. And one day, whoever you are, Chimpanzee Dave will be coming.
Birthday cake in hand.
Yes, make sure you share your birthday cake with my Chimpanzee Dave. Big time. Yeah, right, bro. So where can people find you and all your information? Yes.
So you can find me on Instagram under Lee Anderson Coaching, on my website, Lee Anderson Coaching. Also, I'm part of a group on a Sunday night called the Support and Elevate group. You can find zoom in my link, or it'll be going around on my stories. Yeah, listen, look, I get you. I hear you. I understand that sometimes it can just be a really anonymous message, but that's all it takes. It's just that one little, whatever it is, even if it's just a little emoji or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just tell me how you're feeling. And yeah, so, you know, that's where you'll find me, you know what I mean?
Awesome. We'll drop all the links will be in the YouTube description. And another big thing I'm really excited about, we've got new episode artwork for Spotify and iTunes. And you are debuting on it, brother.
Sweet.
Yes, mate.
Lee Anderson.
That's me.
Monty, you've got any last words, mate, before we go?
No, it's been a pleasure, Lee. Obviously, you have finding the courage to share something with us that you've not even mentioned before as well, in open light, like you've done. And I'm sure a lot of people will take from this that even you yourself are a prime example of how good you might feel you are. You also need the help to keep growing, and you've got a coach yourself. You're a coach yourself as well, helping people, and you've also got someone helping you. So for those listening, watching, understand that if you get to that stage where you still feel good and you don't need the help, you do. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. So and if you need Lee to assist you with anything, obviously we'll have the links down below, and just search him up.
Lee, it's been awesome, mate. It's been proper, open and honest, and really want to thank you for giving us your time, man. It's been awesome.
Listen, you're welcome. Thanks for giving me the space, man. It's been really cool. It's been
Anytime. Anytime.
Anything you need, mate, just give me a shout, you know what I mean?
Yes, mate. Take it easy, bro.
Peace
Peace and love to everyone.
Stand by.